You finally completed your animation and now it's time to showcase it to the world. Show it off on YouTube, Vimeo, Twitter, or whatever platform goes with your style. But rendering a shot in Maya will take ages. So how can you get a decent looking output quickly and turn this into this? Let's find out. Hey there, welcome back to my channel. It's me Sonali Singh, a 3D animator in games, and in this video I'm going to show you how you can play blast your shots in Maya and still make them look really good. Also, don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. With that said, let's get started. There are two things that you can do to make your shot look good. Either you can render it or create a play blast. Rendering, no doubt, will make your shot look amazing, but it needs more time and technicality. Although there are ways where you can render without a lot of hassle with the power of real-time game engines like Unreal Engine 4. But Play Blast is obviously more quicker and you don't need to jump between softwares for it, especially when you're new and you're not familiar with a lot of softwares. Now I've seen a lot of people submit their Play Blast like these. Mostly people who are new to the industry. Even I used to get this result during Play Blast in my early days and I didn't quite like it. So at times I would record my screen to showcase a shot to someone. But that's not the best practice and I wouldn't suggest that. The only problem was that I didn't know how to use Play Blast to its maximum potential or some settings that would change the look of it completely. First things first, I'd highly suggest you to get rid of any extra stuff that you have in the viewport, because whatever you see here is what you're gonna see in the final Play Blast. So we don't want anything selected here like this, or we don't want to see any of the controllers or the bones of our character. So we'll go to Show and select None, and then we'll just turn on the geometry. Now it looks very clean. By the way, these settings are independent to each viewport, so if you just hit spacebar, you can see all of those things that we just hid in the perspective view. So you can do this to each panel, but it's not required now. Next, we have a resolution gate here, which gives you that white border that you might have seen in some Play Blast, and it also displays the resolution of your camera. Then there are two things that can really bring a difference to your shot, which is multi-sample anti-aliasing and screen space ambient occlusion. Those are some heavy words. You might have noticed these rough edges on your character or even the controllers that look pixelated. Turning on anti-aliasing just makes these edges smooth. Here you can see the difference on the character as well as the controllers. So there are two ways to turn on the anti-aliasing. You can simply press this icon here, or if you want to increase the number of samples, you can go to Renderer, Viewport 2.0 and click on this square for extra options. Here you can find anti-aliasing, turn this on and increase the sample count from here. Then screen space ambient occlusion is nothing but adding soft shadows, which brings more depth to your shot by darkening those creases, holes or surfaces that are close to each other rather than making it look completely flat. So you can turn that on from here, or you can go to Renderer, Viewport 2.0 and look for the same. Just enable it, and here you can play with these settings by increasing the amount, radius, etc. You also have an option to add motion blur to your shot. It makes it look super cool, but I wouldn't recommend adding it if you're looking for feedback, as you'll end up having a lot of poses that are not very clear. In case you want to add fog, you can do that too. You have all of these settings here under hardware fog, but to enable it, you'll need to go to shading and turn on hardware fog from here. Now at first you'll go blind because there's too much of it, but you can bring it down by using these start and end sliders, bringing your character into more focus. You can also change the color from here. I've never tried this one in particular, but you can play around with it. Now I wouldn't recommend animating with all of these post-process settings on because it's really gonna affect the performance, so use this only when you need to take a Play Blast. Now to look at some final render settings, you must have noticed that we see 960 x 540 as the resolution of a camera, but I want a high quality Play Blast. So I'll go to my render settings from here and change just two things. First is the renderable camera, which is supposed to be your camera, so it remembers which camera to use while doing the Play Blast. So I'll change this to my camera. And second is the preset. You can either choose 720 or 1080, whatever you want, but I always choose 1080. Finally, we'll take a look at the Play Blast options, which is our last step. But before that, let's do a few more things. I don't need this grid to be rendered in my final Play Blast, so I'll just turn it off from here. And don't forget to change your viewport to the final camera that you want. Like I said before, whatever you see here in the viewport is going to be rendered. So you can change your camera under panels, perspective, and select your camera. Then make sure you've entered the correct start and the end frame in your timeline, and then right click on the timeline and choose this box for extra options. We'll change the format to QuickTime. Now, if you don't see this option, it's probably because you don't have QuickTime installed on your PC. So close your Maya file, install QuickTime, and when you come back, you'll find it here. We'll change encoding from PNG to H264. I'll keep the quality to 100, no compromises. We'll choose render settings for display as we've already done the changes in our render settings. Then scale can be 1. Take this option save to file because of course we want to save it, and then choose a location. Sometimes you might forget to choose a location, and when you're done with your Playblast you won't find it because this sends it to the default location, which is C, users, documents, Maya. You'll find it there. With that done, let's do a Playblast and see how it looks. It looks pretty to me. A tip to maximize the space and make it look more clean would be to turn off the resolution gate so that we can get rid of that white border. And you can go to display, heads up display, and turn off the camera name or the view axis that's down here. You can even add the frame rate for your Playblast and simply play around with these settings. It's time for the bonus tip. If you're wondering how I got this colored background in my viewport instead of the standard gray shades, I got you. You can simply go to Windows, Settings and Preferences, Color Settings. Under 3D view, you can go all crazy and choose any color that you want for your viewport. Either you can go for a solid color like this, or you can have gradients like this. And that sums it up. You now know the techniques to present your work nicely by doing just a Playblast. So do give this video a big thumbs up if you learned anything new or found it interesting. And your likes really help me, so don't be shy, just click it. Share it with your friends who might find it helpful, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel and click the bell icon. Until the next time, see ya!